chair of the 400 Years of African American History Commission, federally. And he also serves as senior pastor of Antioch Assembly, located in Harrisburg, Virginia. No, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania. I'm trying to bring you to Virginia. In September of 2016, Dr. Green launched the 2019 Movement, a national initiative aimed at racial and cultural reconciliation. We need you now. He serves as a facilitator of cultural intelligence training. Spread your wings, brother. Come on up.
I think I need a new mic. I think she wrecked this mic. I'm sitting there talking to the brother over there. I'm like, I don't want to go next. Let somebody else go first. I just thank God for my sister who just really set the atmosphere, and all protocol has been established, and I just want to honor all those who are here today, especially Congressman Bobby Scott, Lieutenant Governor Fairfax, and we were down in Jamestown together, and I concur as far as we were in a place of prestige because of our ancestors and not because of us. And I especially want to give thanks to the Tucker family and all the other dignitaries that are here today. As was introduced, my name is Dr. Joseph Green, and it's an honor and a privilege to be here. And I say it's only by the grace of God, not only am I here, but all of us that are here today. As I was kind of preparing my, I just especially want to thank the Tucker family for sharing your family with us. It is a very important symbol of who we are. It's a very important symbol. And as I was really meditating on what I was going to say today, I didn't know what I was going to say, but I felt when I stepped on this land that something came to me. I looked in the book of Joshua chapter 4, and in the book of Joshua chapter 4, the Lord told Israel to lay memorial stones. And as they laid these memorial stones, it says, when the children ask you about these memorial stones, then you tell the story. I think that we are absolutely in the presence of memorial stones today. And so when they were telling the story of the memorial stones, they were supposed to talk about how God had brought them across the Red Sea on dry ground. They were supposed to tell them about how when they stepped into the Jordan, the waters receded and they were able to walk into the promised land, the land of promise. There's a lot of events that are taking place here in this place, in this time, as we commemorate the 400 years of African American history here in this nation. But I think that this is one of the most impactful and one of the most important events that we can be here. Because as we go to Port Comfort, and I encourage you all to show up on Sunday, if you will, at Fort Monroe. And again, Mr. Terry Brown, who's the superintendent, also a member of the 400-year commission, and all the other commissioners, will be there, and we'll be there in a place of honor and awe of actually being able to be there. But as we celebrate Fort Comfort and we celebrate the fact that the landing of the first 29 Negroes, that's something that we will commemorate, but more importantly, as we honor the life of William Tucker, because he represented something different. He represented a new page. He was the first native born of the 29 Negroes. But I think that as we honor him and we look at those memorial stones that were laid, we do it from a place of God's faithfulness. Because just like when they told the children, when the children came and asked them about the memorial stones, they were supposed to talk about God's faithfulness and how he brought them through all the tough times, and how even though there was many times that it looked like all was lost, God was still there. He was faithful, and he's been faithful to us. As we look at, we started off with 29 and so many of them that came afterwards, and we look around and we are still here, we are still strong, we walk with dignity, we walk with pride, we are educated, we are people that are creative, we have contributed a lot to this nation. And so it is such an honor, it's such an honor to be here in this moment in time, this Kairos moment. And we know that Kairos is when opportunity meets destiny. And I believe that God has saw fit for all of us to be here in this time in this season, because not only as we celebrate the faithfulness of God, we also stand on the promises of God. We understand that God is a God who is faithful, and that as we look backward, We look backward from a place of his faithfulness and his promises. And there's a few promises in the Bible that I believe that we can stand on. There is one that says, eyes have not seen nor ears have heard what God has in store for those who are faithful. There's a promise that says that I reckon that the current sufferings are nothing compared to the glory that will be revealed through God, through our faithfulness. And so we are here to write a new history. We are here to tell a new story for our children's children. Because when they look at these memorial stones, when we are laid in the ground, we will look back and see, how did we tell the story? How did we honor our ancestors? How did we talk about the sacrifice? How do we talk about God's faithfulness that brought us through slavery, that brought us through Jim Crow, that brought us through segregation, that brought us through the prison industrial complex, that brought us through all the atrocities that have befallen us? Because we are bent, but we are not broken.
That's right.
We are still here.
That's right.
We are a beautiful people.
That's right.
And the other promise that says that when brothers and sisters dwell together in unity, there is a commanded blessing. Yeah. And so as we stand here today in the spirit of unity and the bond of peace, there is a commanded blessing. Because our future will be so much greater than our past. And we will look back on the past because of what God has done and look at William Tucker and all those who have come before us. Because I can only imagine how it felt to be taken from your homeland and taken to a land that was not yours, and a language and a people that you did not know. But yet God was still with us. Yeah. You know, all the songs that we sing are God's faithfulness. You know, Amazing Grace was written by a former slave master who at some point in time received the message of the gospel and changed his heart to saying, Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I think about the songs, the old Negro spirituals, that even in the midst of the worst atrocities, we still look to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And so as we look at the God who was sustaining Israel through all the years, we look at the God who has sustained us as a people throughout all the years, and I declare and decree that our latter will be back better than our former. That the best is yet to come. I'm encouraged. I really am encouraged, and I hope you are too. And as I said, it's a privilege and an honor to be here with you. And I pray that as we grow together as a people and we learn about our history, that we pass on the stories, the oral tradition and the written tradition of our people. Because I don't think that God didn't make a mistake by choosing us, because I don't believe anyone else had the resiliency and the commitment and the dedication and the perseverance to endure what we endured. And I think that God will use us as a shining light to show the world what it looks like when brothers and sisters dwell together in unity, and we paint the picture of reconciliation, of restoration, and peace. I believe that God is going to use us as a shining example for the rest of the world, because this moment is not just about Hampton, it's not just about Virginia, it's not just about the United States, but this is about eternity. And we serve a God who is faithful, and I promise you that I today and moving forward, that the best is yet to come. We will succeed, we will endure, we will persevere, because God is with us. God bless you all. Thank you.